Hello and welcome to the video. It is that time of year again. Christmas is around the corner. So within these next 2 months, everybody is going to be going crazy for Christmas. We are all going to be going out and buying stuff for our family, our friends, presents, gifts, and I'm pretty sure that you yourself have a wish list. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to explain to you why you need to buy a Nintendo Switch for Christmas in 2023. Ready for the 2024 year. This is a very special console to me. It's probably my favourite console there is at the moment. I'm actually really enjoying this console. If you don't have a Nintendo Switch yet and you're looking to get one for the 2023 Christmas and maybe even 2024 for the next year, this is the perfect video for you. And I will explain to you 10 different reasons as to why you should buy a Nintendo Switch for this Christmas in 2023 or in 2024. Here we go. So the first thing I want to talk about is the most reasonable thing about this game console, and that is the affordability of this console. At the moment, the Nintendo Switch is the cheapest option for a games console in 2023. When you're comparing the games console to other consoles like the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, you're paying around about £300 for a Nintendo Switch OLED. And with other games consoles like the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X, you're going to be paying a little bit more than £300. There are options coming up such as like Black Friday or the January sales if you're in the UK, where you might be able to get these consoles a little bit cheaper, but the Nintendo Switch at the moment is the cheapest option to buy if you're looking to get a games console this Christmas. The next thing about this games console that I love is the portability of it. Portability is literally that it can be played like a handheld games console. It's basically a hybrid console. So this game can be played on the TV, on the big screen, if you have the dock, and it can also be played handheld. So I love that, the portability of this games console, being able to play it absolutely anywhere you take it. You're going out somewhere, you're going camping, you're going on holiday, you're going on vacation if you're in the US, you know, all these kinds of things about going away somewhere, you can take this console with you absolutely anywhere. This games console is basically a AAA console that is portable. So that's one of the amazing things about this console. And the fact that you can even put this on your TV on big screen as well makes it even better. It's a game station as well as a handheld. However, there is one thing about this that I will mention. Because of the small nature of this console, you will find that this console is nowhere near as powerful as the consoles like the Xbox Series X or the PS5. That's the only downside about the Nintendo Switch. It is less powerful, but it still looks amazing. The majority of the games on Nintendo Switch, especially the first party games, they look amazing in a way. So there you go. The next thing I'm going to talk about is that there are 3 different models of Nintendo Switch. This model here is the original Nintendo Switch. So this is the mid-range Nintendo Switch. It's got the normal screen on it, which is just around about the right size. It's an LCD screen, this, which is okay. It's not the best screen you can get on Nintendo Switch, but it's perfectly reasonable if you want just the normal Nintendo Switch experience. So this is a perfect console for that. This comes with the detachable Joy-Cons, which you can play like this handheld, and I love that. It even has like a back stand on it as well, so you can stand it up. However, this stand isn't the best. It's okay for what it does, but it's not as good as the OLED Switch. And the OLED Switch is the next model up. So the OLED Switch is the best version of Nintendo Switch you can get. It's the most expensive version of Nintendo Switch. It comes with a screen that fits the whole of a Nintendo Switch. It's an LED screen, which looks amazing. Also, the speakers on the OLED are slightly better, so you can hear more when you've got no headphones in or when you're playing portable. It's amazing to have the OLED, as it's the best version of the Nintendo Switch right now. The kickstand on the OLED is also across the whole Switch, and it actually works so much better than the original Nintendo Switch backstand. This one's a bit flimsy, but the OLED one works really well, and it actually keeps the Nintendo Switch upright and secure. The last version of the Nintendo Switch is the Nintendo Switch Lite, and this is the cheapest version of the Nintendo Switch. It basically means that it's purely a handheld console, the Nintendo Switch Lite. It's also slightly smaller than the normal Nintendo Switch. You also can't dock the Nintendo Switch Lite, which means you can only play it handheld. This isn't a bad thing, because if you enjoy playing handheld consoles, Nintendo Switch might just be for you. If you don't like playing on big screens on TVs, then Nintendo Switch Lite might be for you if you think that it's the best option. If you really enjoy handheld consoles, Nintendo Switch Lite might be for you. Just realise that it is the worst version of the console. There's also been major problems with the Nintendo Switch Lite, such as something that's known as Joy-Con drift. Joy-Con drift is what comes with these analog sticks here. Sometimes these do break and you have to be careful with them. The Nintendo Switch Lite is an issue because you can't change the Joy-Cons normally. There's probably a way around it, but Joy-Con drift is a problem with Nintendo Switches. And Nintendo Switch Lite, it's very hard to fix that because you can't detach the Joy-Cons like you can on the original version. The next thing I'm going to talk about is customization. So this is my Nintendo Switch, and I've customized this one to have different colored Joy-Cons. This is how my Nintendo Switch used to look, and I've customized it so that it looks like this instead. Purely because I really like the red colour, and I think the red colour looks really nice as a Nintendo Switch. I kind of like the wholeness of it. You could also customize it to look like this. Like, you could change it so it's blue. It looks amazing. Also, so like you can basically do loads of things. There's loads of different colour Joy-Cons. As you can see, it's easy to customize Nintendo Switches because they just look really cool however you have them. So yeah, colour these Nintendo Switches however you want, customize them. You can do all kinds of crazy things. You can swap them around. You can do everything. You can change the Joy-Cons, do what you like with them. There's also loads of different accessories you can get as well. You can get adapters for your Switch so it's more comfortable in your hands. You can get cases to put around your Switch, so if you're worried about scratches and dents and stuff like that, you can put cases around your Switch. You could get screen protectors, all kinds of things, so that your Switch is very safe from damage. However you like. You can literally customize your Switch to your taste. That's the awesome thing about Nintendo Switches. You can do loads of things. There's loads of different color Joy-Cons. Go out there, look for them. Sometimes the body itself as well for Nintendo Switch is actually a different color. I know there was a model for the Nintendo Switch where the Switch was actually a different color. And some models have actually got prints on the back. So if you have one of the special edition Switches, you might find those prints on there as well. So it's also awesome to look out for that. There's lots of different versions of the Nintendo Switch out there. You can customize them to however you like. That's one of the awesome things about Nintendo Switch. So do look out for that when you're buying a Nintendo Switch. Customize it to your taste. One of the next best things about Nintendo Switch is the amazing catalog of games that you can get for Nintendo Switch. So here are some of the games that I have in my collection, which I think that if you're buying a Nintendo Switch, these games are so essential to buy. So you can only get these games on Nintendo Switch. So the best games on Nintendo Switch are the first party games, the games that are exclusive to Nintendo Switch. And these games are games like Animal Crossing New Horizons, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. If you really love Pokemon, there's loads of different Pokemon games. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which is the newest Super Mario game out at the moment. This is going to be a big find for Christmas. A lot of people are going to be asking for this. Super Mario Odyssey, one of the greatest games on Nintendo Switch. One of the first games ever released on Switch as well. Amazing. It still holds up today. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, amazing game. If you really like fighting games, that's a great game to have. Splatoon 3, this is an essential game to get on Nintendo Switch as it's a shooting game which you can only find on Nintendo Switch, and it's one of the best games on Nintendo Switch. I love this game so much. Great competitive fun. And of course, you cannot forget about these games here, The Legend of Zelda. Every game here is amazing. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD, and of course Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. These are by far 4 of the best games on Nintendo Switch, and they play amazingly. So definitely do look out for Zelda games. So those are some of the recommended games you can get on Nintendo Switch if you're buying one this year for Christmas. Of course, there's so many more games on Nintendo Switch. It's got a huge catalogue out there. I've got way more games than that, as you can see in my background just here. I've got more Switch games just sitting there. There's probably more games out there that you really want to play, so definitely do look out for them. That's only a small amount of games there. One of the best things about Nintendo Switch is the party playability. You can basically share your Nintendo Switch by taking off the Joy-Cons and using them as multiplayer controllers. So that's one of the awesome things about Nintendo Switches, is how accessible it is to multiplayer and party play. Some of the best games I can recommend here are Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I love this game. This is the most essential game on Nintendo Switch. There is a huge amount of Mario Kart tracks now. I couldn't name them all. I don't think I've even played them all at this point. You can basically get this game and you've got one of the best games ever made right here on your Nintendo Switch. So party play, it's incredible. I've had many a times where I've had a party of people playing this game, including also Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, another game that you can't go wrong with in party play. There's just some of those games that you can just pick up and play. There's a huge range of games out there which are built for party play, and Nintendo Switch is the #1 console for exactly that. For some games like Super Mario 3D World, you can actually do party play by connecting two Nintendo Switches together. If you both have the game, you can play it through connection through both Nintendo Switches. There are other games out there like It Takes Two, where you actually only need one version of the game, and the other person can just download the game on the eShop, and then you can connect it. You don't have to pay anything for the second player to be able to download it from the eShop. It's completely free, and then you can just basically play the game together. This is one of the things that makes Nintendo Switch revolutionary. The Nintendo Switch is kind of coming to its end of life. This means that all the Nintendo games on Nintendo Switch have been out for a while now, so if you look at Nintendo Switch game prices, it's actually easy to realize that a lot of those games have gone down in price. They are a lot cheaper than when they were released, so it's an amazing find to be able to go and buy Nintendo Switch games for much cheaper prices. This is one of the best things about Nintendo Switch, and I love that because I'm trying to build a Nintendo Switch collection right now, and a lot of the games that I want to get for my collection are way cheaper than when they were released. So if you're buying a brand new Nintendo Switch right now this year at Christmas, it's the perfect time to do so because the games are a lot cheaper than they were at release price. So that's an amazing thing about Nintendo Switch games right now. They are so much cheaper. You've also got the Nintendo eShop and indie games known as Nindies on Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo eShop is huge. It's got so many games on there, so many cheap indie games that you can find and pick up and play. This is one of the best things about Nintendo Switch. The fact that the Nintendo eShop has such accessible games on there that you can find loads and loads of indie games that are fun. For example, you've got games like Hollow Knight and Celeste on there, which are amazing 2D action scrolling games. So they are wicked games to find on the Nintendo eShop. What I'm trying to say here is that the eShop is an amazing place to find games on Nintendo Switch. It's one of the best things about Nintendo Switch is the portability of having downloadable games, which you can only get on Nintendo eShop. So that's one thing to think about if you're looking to buy a Nintendo Switch this Christmas. Another thing as well about Nintendo Switch is the Nintendo Switch Online service. This service basically gives you access to the Nintendo Entertainment System games and Super Nintendo Entertainment System games, as well as being able to play online with friends on online multiplayer games. There is a price to pay for it. You do have to pay for Nintendo Switch Online. However, what it gives you is online play and also Nintendo Entertainment System games and Super Nintendo Entertainment System games. You can also expand the Nintendo Switch Online to get the expansion pack, which also adds consoles like the Nintendo 64, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. That's amazing as well if you want the expansion pack, as you'll be able to get access to Nintendo 64 games, as well as Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games. You will have to pay quite a significant charge for it. However, if you have more than one person in with a Nintendo Switch, you can split the price for the expansion pack, which makes it way cheaper. That's exactly what I did, and now I'm paying way less for the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack service, and I get hundreds of games which you can just literally stream straight from Nintendo Switch Online. Some of the greatest games of all time are literally sitting on the Nintendo Switch Online service, so make sure you check it out. I did also forget to mention that you can also play Mega Drive or Genesis games if you're in the US. These are also great games you can pick up if you want some nostalgia. Do think about Nintendo Switch Online. It's a great service. A lot of people who don't really know about that service kind of look at it and think, it's not that great, but then when you actually have it and you can play some of the best games ever made, such as Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, Banjo-Kazooie for example, Super Mario World, and loads of other games on there which are amazing, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, just games that are popping into my head right now when I'm thinking about from Nintendo Switch Online service. So do think about that when you're buying a Nintendo Switch. It's something that really does make the Nintendo Switch console better in my opinion. And another thing about Nintendo Switch is you can actually upgrade the storage on this console by having a micro SD card. So if you have got micro SDs, this is one awesome because you can basically use your micro SD to upgrade your storage. This right here is a 512 gigabyte micro SD, and all I have to do is put that in the back of my Nintendo Switch. And there we go, 512 gigabytes of storage on my Nintendo Switch. Amazing. That's one thing that you can do with Nintendo Switch, which I recommend you doing, is getting a micro SD for your Nintendo Switch, as you know, games can take up a lot of storage. So if you've got a big micro SD card, you know, you can put loads and loads of games on your Switch and not have to worry about space. So that's one of the best things about Nintendo Switch right there. So easy to add storage to your console. And there you have it. There's 10 things about Nintendo Switch that I love and 10 reasons why you should buy a Nintendo Switch this Christmas in 2023 or next year in 2024 if that's more your thing. Just think about these 10 reasons why I've just given you about these games, and I'm pretty sure you can't go wrong with Nintendo Switch. If you've already got one right now and you're just looking to upgrade to the OLED maybe, just think about those reasons as to why, in my opinion, it's the best console of this generation so far. You can't go wrong. The affordability of it, the portability of it, the different models, the customization, the game catalog, the party play of it, cheaper games, Nintendo Switch eShop games and indie games, the Nintendo Switch Online service, and of course the storage upgradability of the game console. Hope you've enjoyed watching this, and if you've liked this content, please do like, comment and subscribe. I'm making more videos about Nintendo Switch collections and why you should buy a Nintendo Switch at this point, and I'm taking you through my journey of upgrading my collection and making it bigger than it actually is right now. And also check this video out right here, it's nice and shiny for you. I'll see you around, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Bye!